I just started.
Good morning, Nutters, and welcome to the third edition of GigaUP, our weekly podcast about the Giga Nuts Fantasy Football League and the upcoming matchups of the week. I'm, of course, your host, Sal Rose, and will be joined weekly by fellow owners and Giga Nuts champions, Commissioner Harris.
What it do?
And Mikey Bishop to discuss all the things happening around the league. In this third edition, we will be joined by our second special guest, current D2 team owner, Josh Lindquist.
What's up?
Pleasure to have you, Josh.
It is a
Thanks, man.
pleasure to have you, my dog.
Let's pour one out for our production team.
So,
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
For his quad, doing homework tonight. Rough week for Kai Guy.
Rough stretch for the kid, you know. And if you say anything about him not being here, you've never tore your quad. To start it off, I feel like we might as well just jump into the power rankings. Earlier this week, Commish Johnny Boy sent out a Google form, if I'm not mistaken, for everyone to fill out and power rank all the teams. So with that being said, we have the results from all 12 teams ranked from 1 through 12, obviously, and I feel like we might as well just start with who was the pretty easy 1 seed.
Who was it?
I'll let you say
No,
it, 'cause I'm
introduce
not-
it. Introduce it. Oh, is it me? Oh, is it me?
With first place with 117 total first place votes, it is Michael Bishop.
Yeah, so that's obvious. I'm the best. We knew that. I scammed Kyle.
First, we scored 190 last week.
189, bro.
And I will give credit where credit's due. Mikey put up
Points
190
lad.
with 2 points out of Lad McConkey and -2 out of his kickers. So
That's crazy.
I literally-
You had negative
I scored
two out of
with 7 players. I scored 190 with
Yeah.
7 players.
no, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Shout
So
out
in
CMC.
second.
Yeah. Oh, we can.
No, let's
I
no, I
feel
don't
like
want
feel like
to.
we'll get to your team. We don't
No,
need to
for
just-
sure.
you can glaze yourself and give it like 15-20 minutes. And then you
Yeah,
can
we'll,
go.
we'll get there.
We'll get there, buddy.
In second place, coming in with 99 total points, we have Joey and Mark. A shocker. Like, who would have thought at the beginning of the season, Joey
Not me.
would be the second best team, decidedly, in Giga Nuts? Like, that is insane to say verbally. Like,
Yeah.
out loud.
That running back room is insane. That's what's
Insane,
insane.
bro.
Yeah, it is gross.
And no-
Running
him
backs
being-
in 2025 are just gross.
Need them. You need them, bro.
Absolutely.
You know.
They are a privilege right now. Shout out to you.
And all this without Joe Burrow for Jamar Chase is ridiculous. That's the thing that's really getting me,
Yeah. And Zay
And-
Flowers' existence.
bro.
And Laporta has put up one game over 10 points, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's
but
been
tight
like
ends
15.
everywhere suck. Trey McBride
I mean,
has dropped 12
that's-
points in 4 straight games, and that's like tight end too.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's like their
It's
5th, 6th
bad.
round pick though. When you look at it in that perspective, though, like their
No,
team
yeah,
is
it's definitely rough for
really
the
good.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say
but I mean,
personally, I did not have Joey and Mark this high. There's still some things around them that I don't love.
you calling a little flukage?
I'm not calling it flukage. I'm just saying maybe record isn't everything.
My question I think for them is a good enough dynamic at when the deadline comes and they need to upgrade at Dobbins in case Harvey takes his spot, or they need a receiver because Burrow is obviously out for 3 months and Zay Flowers is Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
I think historically too, you have the conservative Joey, and I think that's,
Yeah.
interesting to see with the dynamic of Mark's first year, and Mark has not made it quiet. Like, he wants to win, and he knows that his team is a win now team. So I think it's like interesting to see how that dynamic is gonna play out.
And I think in Giga Nuts, and I think we can all fairly agree on this, unless you legitimately hit every single pick, you have to, like, if you're a championship contender, you have to come to terms with the fact that you're going to have to give up capital the next year. Like, you can't win Giga Nuts with a straight draft and just ride that team out. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Unless you're someone I know.
Unless you actually acquire more picks and then still win the championship.
Unless you happen to have Amari Cooper on your team in 2020.
In this small sample size, that unnamed person would be an outlier.
A very big outlier.
Very big outlier.
To say the least, as can be seen by the previous years of Luca and Liam's teams, where they are just throwing out draft picks. Like
Mine.
And John's, yes.
Yeah, you were. That was your first year.
That was my first year.
So I think we can just go like 4, 5, 6. We got Luca, Josh, and Kyle.
What about number 3?
I'm a little surprised. I totally
3.
skipped Curry and Hammy. They're only 2 points. I think what's most interesting here, Curry and Hammy and Joey Mark, just like their matchup.
I actually do prefer Hammy and Curry's team over Joey and Mark's.
I think Bijan is just clear-cut RB1 right now. Like, it's CMC's right there, but, like, I think Bijan's rushing ceiling, he's on a team that's gonna give him infinite. Like, they want to run their team through the running back position versus the Niners are just kind of hurt.
Yeah.
Like, every year, obviously, but, like, yeah, Curry's team, like, obviously, he needs, I think, one more flex because Pollard just can't score touchdowns because Titans offense, because they need to fire Brian Callahan.
Horribly.
Yeah, that dude sucks. But I think realistically, like, their only hole is really, like, they could use a receiver, I guess, if A.J. Brown doesn't step it up. But they've been doing fine with him being bad. I imagine at some point A.J. Brown will score 20 points a game again.
Let's hope so, because God knows that I need to. I don't have him, but I just need to watch
I just
AJ
need
Brown
go
get
birds.
involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to 4, 5, and 6. We got Luka, Josh, and Kyle. I don't think anything here is out of the ordinary. I guess you could argue there's semantics between Josh and Kyle because of the neighbor's injury, but I think with the running back depth he has, it's clear that he's better. Luka, I think, is what's interesting here. Because I know I would not put him I think it's very clear that it's like the 5D2 teams, and then is Luka gonna buy enough, or can Rossi's team reach its ceiling?
Yeah, I think with
Will he
Luka,
buy?
I think with Luka, it's just will his team reach his ceiling? I think he's got guys. I mean, he's got pass catchers in a PPR league. I mean, McBride, JSN, Kamara.
Jason's a dog.
They catch the ball.
I mean, we can save it for Luca's segment, but like, I don't know if I would throw Kamara in that list right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a pass.
Kamara's been very underwhelming, and especially if you take into account the 2.9 draft price. Like, I don't know. I don't love it, but we can save that.
Was right there. We'll save it.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. We got Deputy Rossi, Commissioner, myself, and then Mr. Salrose, not far behind. All within at least at most 7 points here, so nothing crazy here. Kind of 3 D1 teams definitely trying to figure out where they really stand in long terms.
And I think CJ is the second best in the division right now.
I think.
Yeah, I think after
seeing
last
that
week's
from
performance.
Genty, yeah, I think seeing that from Genty definitely like caught some eyes from the rest of the league because it was like that was his 2-1. He played like a 2-1. I mean, granted, it was against the Bears, which is probably the best possible opponent he could
for me
face,
with
but...
Rossi, it just really like, and we'll say this for like, the Dolphins just feel like a ticking time bomb every.
Yeah, 1,000%.
And that's what scares me about his roster, and also his time. What sold him? Because why does he not have Cam Scatterbill? Anyway, last 3 teams, clear bottom dwellers here. There's a gap between Sal and the next team in terms of points. There were 10 voters this week. If you didn't vote and you're listening, you're a little bitch.
Fuck yourself.
Anyway, we got Jay and Dan both tied at 10th place with, and then we got Liam squarely in last place with 12. I don't think there's much to say about these teams. I think that Liam doesn't have much to sell, and then Jay, Nate, and Dan don't really.
Yeah.
They're gonna sell in the next couple weeks.
Yeah. I think just kind of going off what you said, I think Jay and Nate and Dan, more so Jay and Nate, when they come to terms with name value not being able to provide you the same. Granted, you draft Brees Hall in the second. That does not mean you're going to get a second nor a third or maybe even a fourth for him. So I think when they come to terms with that, that'll probably help them speed up the selling process. As for Dan has guys that he can sell for good value. I think it's just a matter of when and at this point if he decides to sell. Because he's holding on, with Garrett Wilson especially. Like, I think Garrett Wilson is a dog. I'm not even saying this because John was going after him. Like, I don't know why he is not selling him right now. Like, he looks great. I don't know. Like, he's getting so many red zone targets. And as for Liam, I don't really have anything to say about Liam. His team's horrible. He's averaging like 89 points a week, and he has not a single name that I think will sell at the deadline. Maybe one.
Yeah.
Maybe T. Higgins or Worthy.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Big maybe, because T is obviously with Browning looks,
awful.
Not serviceable in the slightest. And Worthy, I think Worthy would be my best pick to get picked up eventually in trade. But those are our power rankings in order one more time, just if anyone missed it. First, Bishop, and then down the line, we got Joey and Mark, Curry and Hammy, Luca, Josh, Kyle, Rossi, John, myself, Sal, Jay, Dan, and Liam. Now that the power rankings are out of the way, I feel like we should just continue the tradition of hopping straight into our game of the week.
Oh, yeah.
And with that game of the week, we have the undefeated Joey and Mark going against 3-1 Kyle and Beam.
Last undefeated team in GigaNuts.
Yeah, because Luca just went down last week.
Well, who wants to kick this one off?
Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think obviously the story of Mark's year has been his RB duo. I mean, James Cook's been arguably, definitely a top 5 running back in fantasy, and you can throw him in the top 3 combo, especially with this. He has yet to score less than 20 points. So, and then obviously Hampton went off last 2 weeks, dropped 26 2 weeks ago, 29 last week. So I had to face the brunt of that. So. And it's not just them two. I mean, Mark, Scattaboo projected 17 points, a little questionable, but J.K. Dobbins, it's an RB powerhouse right there in the Mark and Joey factory.
Yeah.
No, definitely. That Hampton pick is paying off dividends right now. They're thanking their lucky stars they did not sell early.
Yeah, and it was a pick that I believe we brought up in the first ever GigaUP, where we were saying how they were 2-0 and their 3-1 was giving them 4 points a game. And now they're obviously still undefeated, and their 3-1 pick is giving them an average of 27 a game. And it kind of just, obviously, I do think that they maybe aren't the second best team, but I don't think you can put them out of the top 3. Like, they have played great, and it's with the 1-1 overall pick only putting up more than 10 points once. Jamar Chase has been very flat with Browning, and that was the first pick in the draft. Like, I think because I do expect Joey and Mark to be in the playoffs. So I think when Burrow comes back, I think, it's going to get even grosser for them. Like, I think their team is really good.
Real quick before I let Bishop talk, I saw a tweet that said that was Jamar Chase's route tree, not this week, the week before, and the tweet said they're using my boy like Tavon Austin, so I don't think that they're utilizing Jamar very well post Burrow era.
Not at all.
No,
not at all.
What I'll say is Kyle's team, man, it's looking like the odd man out in D2 right now. And I know there needs to be 2 odd men out, but Saquon has not started off to what we thought Saquon would be, especially for being the second pick in the draft. We were just talking about the first. And I mean, you're just lacking so much depth there at running back. You don't have a second flex.
In general, man.
Yeah,
I was about to say Cooper Kupp's a starting
one of the
flex.
most depressing, one of the most depressing benches in the bench spot all year, and he has Will Shipley on his team still.
Yeah, it's not looking great over there. They definitely need to do something, and they do need to do something fast. You hope Kittle turns it around, but there's only so much you can. 30-plus-year-old Kittle. You know, there's only so much faith you can put into him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's coming back to this offense with, knock on wood, a healthy CMC. Last year when he was putting up those numbers, you know, CMC played what, 4 games last year?
Not a lot.
Where he was semi-healthy.
Yeah.
You know, I think this offense is
And then
going
he
to be
went down again.
Yeah, I think this offense is going to be ran a little bit more differently when you have arguably the best running back in football healthy. So I don't. Obviously, Kittle will still be a top 5 tight end, but I don't think he provides that value that he did last year. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. That is just my personal take. Along with Jennings and Ayuk all coming back around that same time.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So, this week we're gonna say picks till the end.
Oh,
Okay.
That's right.
I thought we talked about that last week. After the show.
I like that.
So we'll keep our picks to the end of the week, or the end of the show. But yeah, overall, I think here it's really like, how quickly can Kyle find a trade partner, because he's been looking. I don't think that's been a secret to anyone around the league.
No, he's making.
It's not like he's unaware his team depth, especially at the running back position, in a year where receivers aren't scoring as much as they normally would be. But I think, yeah, it's just a matter of when Kyle finds a trade partner. I think you can see a buy early, and if it doesn't work out, sell at the deadline.
I agree, especially with how D2 looks. Like, you know, Kyle, if he does have to sell, like, that's nothing to be ashamed of. He's gonna come out of it with good draft capital.
No, yeah, and like a big thing this year that a lot, I think you're gonna see it at D1 a lot. Is the idea that, like, going into the new divisions with picks is like an enticing idea for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. It's been on the front of my mind since week 3.
No, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, the idea of, like, just being like, all right, last year it's whatever, didn't compete in this era. We'll wash it and just start over new with the new divisions. Like, I think that's very enticing for D1.
I was gonna say, Josh, can you believe this
Not to
D1
say
talk?
names.
This D1 talk is crazy.
I think you'll see it from Josh and Kyle too. I just didn't want to.
Wow.
I didn't want to insult our special guest, and it's a tough week for him. And we'll talk about it.
D2's coming for throats this year. We're sweeping this year.
Anyway, I think that's that matchup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're saving picks to the end, we can move on. For the second matchup of the week, we have current 1 seed in D1, Luca, versus myself, Sal. I will let you all start this off because I don't want to start off my own matchup.
Bishop, take this one away.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a scary game for Luca, which is weird to say considering the 2 different positions these teams look at their team. Sal has had a fine year. He's had a fine year, and Luca's had an even better year. And I don't know. I just think Texans can maybe start figuring it out with Nico. And we'll see what happens with not having Trey Benson anymore after losing James Conner already.
That sucks, man. That sucks. That sucks. 3rd and 5th round pick gone.
Yeah, I think Sal, like, I think, unfortunately, just not been able to escape the injury bug. And I think, you know, obviously, it just sucks seeing 2 Cardinals running backs out for long term. But luckily, Sal does have JT, and I think it is important to note that still, I think Sal, you can definitely make the argument that Sal is still way ahead of Luca in the RB room here, given how just lackluster Luca's RBs have been to start off the year.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm going to toot it. That boy JT a dog. And obviously, with Michael Carter, I have the biggest question mark ever. It's between him and JCM. Yeah, it's between him.
There's no shot you're starting JCM.
JCM, but I was about to say, until something happens, JCM's just a touchdown-dependent flex play. Michael Carter, take it for what it's worth, so take it with a grain of salt, but he was seen getting first-team reps.
He said he was starting in his own interview.
I was at work, guys.
Yeah.
I promise I try to stay up to date. I just got off like a
Yeah, that
7.5 hour shift.
Nah, that boy's starting, buddy.
I mean, obviously, DeMarcado will still take the passing down work, but I think getting Carter will just be a fine plug-in until Benson's back, or if, you know, something happens in that Washington offense, which where JCM can truly emerge and get 15 opportunities a game. But until then, you know, we're just gonna keep riding with what we got. But speaking of
Jacoby turns it around.
Yeah, I mean, the first 2 weeks were good. It's just Geno Smith has looked horrible.
Dude, the O-line has looked horrible, and they just lost their starter.
Yeah, who was the only serviceable member on that O-line to begin with. He was far and away the
Colton
best
Miller, say his name. Anyway,
UCLA alum.
I think in Luka, like going to Luka's team here, I think we touched on a little bit. Kamara might be the biggest bust in the I'm saying this as a BTJ owner, but Kamara might end up as one of the top 3 busts. He's definitely a leading Lindquist Lard Award winner this year, named after our very special guest. I think when you look at Luka's team, it's really been Trey McBride has not wowed anyone with his point output. I think neither of these teams has really been able to, like, Mike Evans is a really big blow. Like, even if he wasn't scoring a lot, he was getting output and there was hope there.
Absolutely.
I think the ceiling on this Luka team is lower than a lot of other competitive Luka teams in the past. I think that's
it absolutely is.
My take on his team largely. Like, I don't think Swift's role is gonna get any bigger as the season goes on. I don't foresee Kamara's role getting any bigger on a bad team.
It's only going to get slower, in my opinion. Why not go out there and give Kendra Miller the work? You know, you're not contending for nothing. He looks. I mean, he's looking much more efficient than Kamara, and he's starting to slowly ramp up in the goal line carries. I don't see why you don't go and give your young guy the work. You know, Kamara's getting older. It's a different era in New Orleans, which, you know, definitely sucks for Luka given the price tag Kamara was put at, but it's what happened.
Unbelievable one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too. Like, he's 30. No, I mean, he's 30 now, and I think the story with Kamara has always been just big start, and then let's see if he can stay healthy and finish it. But I think this year, you know, he hasn't even had that big start. Like, it's a real question of just, you know, running backs have their limit, and if you're not Derrick Henry, then, you know, producing once you get that 30 years of age is just...
We haven't even really talked about him.
Yeah.
We talked about the fact that Luka traded his second-round pick next year, and Derrick Henry's scored a whopping, 12 points?
Combined in, like, both the weeks that he's had him. It's
That's what I mean.
It's been, like, 12 points.
That's not a second-round pick.
Given how my luck goes, he will be going for 40 this week, but
it's not a post-draft second-round pick. Yeah, no, Derrick Henry's definitely bounced. He's getting like 40 carries.
Yeah, and this is gonna be the game that he comes back, but it's cool. That's not even the point. I'm not here to stress about week 5. I'm here to talk fantasy. But I mean, I think although the trade doesn't look good, I don't think anyone is really out here saying Derrick Henry's washed. Like, you know, Derrick Henry's still gonna have maybe a good handful more of 100+
Dude,
rushing
that
yard
defense,
games.
it's that Baltimore defense. It looks bad.
Yeah, no, horrible.
It's what they get for drafting a multiple time. Not to get crazier, but Mike Green. If anyone wants a fun Google search, that guy sucks. That guy is not good.
Yeah, there's a reason why he slipped.
There's a reason why. Yeah, no. And he's also not good, which is really fun to watch for me, because because he sucks. Anyway, if you want to look up Mike Green allegations, that'll be a fun little rabbit hole. But I don't know. Baltimore's defense sucks, and I think that's the problem, is that they can't be ahead in games, utilize Derrick Henry in the run game they have in years past.
I agree. I feel like that pretty much tops off everything between me and Luka's matchup. You know, Nothing too exciting, but moving along to what I would imagine would be a close second for game of the week, we have Josh versus Ryan. And you know, I feel like I want to hear your opinion, like your initial thoughts on this matchup, Josh. So why don't you lead us off with that?
So obviously, just with the strength of D2, Absent at 2-2 is going against 3-1 Ryan. It's a must-win game. So I think this is gonna just it's a test game. It's a test if we're really gonna be that team that can stay and compete with the big dogs in D2, or if this is gonna be a game where you sit back and you really rethink about where you are in the league. But I'm excited. So I think I'm not. Last week was a real tough one. I won't lie, but I'm still excited about what we can do. I know that I just feel like we're just either players not scoring touchdowns or just injuries or whatever. I feel like we can really just bring it all together. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Josh, this is a Rothman Institute team once more. Sadly,
For
I think you
those
can hear
who,
the heart. I think there's a. In
neighbors.
our friend's
Obviously, we
voice.
know.
Yeah.
We know.
I was just about to say, for those who don't know,
Lamar-
Josh owns Neighbors.
Yeah.
He has Lamar and Hammy and that boy's Hammy, and Hubbard's not looking for Sunday. So
I've walked in every week so far, seeing Hubbard, is he gonna play or not? It's very frustrating.
and then he walks out and gives you a whopping 10 points. Yeah, for a team that had so much depth, it's quite interesting how the fantasy gods like to play their cards, because I still think on paper it's one of the top 5 best teams at GigaUP. It's just a matter of,
I think even with Neighbors out,
is there a path to the playoffs, and can the rest of the team even stay healthy at this point, the way that like injuries can pile up like that? I think for Ryan, this is like a clear like stepping stone to being like, yeah, if he wins this game, he's there in D2. Like back to back really strong starts to seasons and back to back years. Like the legacy, like Ryan's legacy probably been the highest climber, I think, in the last 2 seasons out of any owner. Like I obviously, like Liam wins a championship, and like and by last 2 seasons I mean this current one and last year. I think that outside of like Liam finally winning his ring, Ryan has become a real formidable owner in this league, as well as Hammy.
You don't gotta give him no
What
props.
does he do?
You don't gotta give him no props,
What
bro.
does he do?
He's a strength and conditioning coach. We went over this last week.
Forgot about that.
For Ryan, I would say, it's definitely gonna be a tough matchup with no Bijan. But I think he has guys to play in. I mean, I think you could see. I don't think he has it now, but you could see him trust RJ Harvey, and see what that could be if he thinks he can get some catch work going. For Josh, man, I mean, that Kyron trade did help, because having Drake London pop off when Neighbors goes down is really, really good to see. But yeah, we'll see with you, Josh, because I agree.
It almost feels like it became null and void because
yeah.
Who is your wide receiver 2 now, Josh? Obviously, assuming London takes the wide receiver 1.
It is. See, this is the problem, because I know his first. Jalen Tolbert is my wide receiver.
Wow.
My wide receiver 1 is Devontae Smith, and the rest are either injured or on buys.
Oh.
Devontae's your wide
Bye.
receiver
London's
too.
on bye.
Oh,
Yeah, I was about to
London's
say
on bye.
London's
That's
on bye.
rough.
No DJ Moore?
Yeah.
Moore's on a buy too.
Oh,
This might just be a have to take, like, not a take the L week, but
Yeah.
like a
take it on the chin.
push
Where
back.
do I assume?
Yeah, I don't know if you can really like. I don't think like a tell all end all for your team. I think another week or 2 after this is where you're like, okay,
Yeah.
D2's
Yeah,
rough.
I mean,
And I got hurt
it's
first.
only week 5 now, so I think like, obviously we all have tendencies. It's a long season, so just tendency to kind of make judgments about after 1 week, and you see your record early in the year. So I think just wait it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving along to our fourth game of the week, we have a interdivision matchup. We have Kamish versus Jay, Tuck, and Nate. So, I mean, I'll lead this game off. I think this is like, especially with the heavy criticism that John has received this year. Obviously one because he's a commish or the commish, so that automatically just puts you in line to get shit on. But I think John's team's inconsistencies and apparent inability to score a good amount of points, which changed this year or this week. I apologize. If I'm not mistaken, you put up like $130. That's a respectable score.
Should have been $150, but I fucking started Caleb pussy at like score points.
You score points. You score points. You can't hate.
Example A. Anyways.
All right, I'll shut up again.
Moving off of that, Jay's team. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I do think it has looked a little bit better than we expected. A big part of that has come from landing Johnston on waivers after week 1.
Quentin Johnson.
I think that's huge. Obviously, he just lost Tyreek Hill to one of the most grotesque injuries I've seen in a long time. So that's his wide receiver 1 down. Well, technically wide receiver 2. QJ was the 1. But I think what a lot of people in the league are thinking, including myself, is could this be a trap game for John? I think Jay has the average, like the higher average points per week. No, he doesn't.
No, I'm slightly higher.
Okay. My apologies. Well, it's close regardless. And I do think that obviously John's roster on paper is significantly better. I do think that this could be one of those weeks where I haven't looked at the matchups, but I do think this could be one of those weeks where Jay only has to put up $115, which I think he can with Addison back now. And he might take the win. You know, this is a big trap game for John, but at the same time, if he wins, he'll be sitting at 3-2. And will still be in line for playoffs. So this is, I mean, it doesn't seem like an important game, but this does matter to both teams within Jay and John.
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it. We're saying that his team is playing way better than any of us expected. Landon Johnson is huge for that.
Yeah.
Sal said that earlier. No one caught it. So I just thought that was his name.
Can we cut this?
Nah. Landon Johnson's looking like a dog. And I hate.
That's what you said.
I said Landon Johnson.
Yeah.
I tried correcting you, just kept going on. I was like, all right, that's what we're calling him.
My bad, Landon. LJ.
LJ's looked like a dog. I hate that for Ladarius, but I think Jay, if Jay can get any capital from his team, it's from Landon. And I mean, Breece Hall's all right. I mean, Debo's all right. Like, they got some guys, but I do think that this could be a trap game for John. Cause yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, I agree. Josh, do you have any comments
breaking down
on the John versus Jay matchup?
So obviously, John, he's BTJ has obviously been, biggest question mark with his team, especially now that he's lost London. I think he really needs a receiver to pick up some slack, especially if Bucky Irvin's going to be injured, and especially too with Keenan Allen. We know that Allen is on a timer, sadly an injury timer. But hopefully, I think it's gonna be a big week for Kyron. I think Kyron gets in the end zone. I think he's finally gonna start, putting up some big numbers. So I mean, I hope so. Yeah, I always love seeing former players do well, but Yeah, I think it'll be a close game, but I do think it's gonna be a close game.
So I think we're far enough into the episode for me to say Jay not listening anymore. He doesn't. He still has Jawan Jennings in his lineup, and he's really depressed about fantasy. So I don't know if he's gonna take him out. I really hope he doesn't. But
Well, I have inside scoop to say that Jay did offer.
Did he take him out?
He did offer me Debo Samuel, and I politely said
what did he
no.
offer you for? What did he offer you? A fifth?
I think it was. I don't know if it was a fifth, but I said, listen, like, not happening. So.
Bro, yeah.
And also, rumor is that him and Mark were in conversations with Quentin Johnson, and the price.
I see. That's interesting because for me, Quentin Johnson. But anyway, talking about my own team, Bucky Irving foot and shoulder injuries, not fun, not ideal. Thank God I got Rashad White on waivers. Was really surprised Luca or Rossi didn't try and fuck me out of that. I'm battling the bye week as well. Were you the one who put in for him?
No, if I didn't have to go for DeMarcado or Carter, I would have went in for White.
What, you
or no. No. Who did I get? I went for someone, but I wanted White, but I knew I did not have the waiver for it. So yeah, I think I was like waiver 10 this bet.
I was 5, so I thought I had a pretty good shot. Because I knew that someone was going to put in for, and no one did put in for, but Bishop got him. Anyway. I think I'm also battling the bye week a little bit here. Being on bye really sucks right now. Because I have to start Travion. I hate you, Josh McDaniels, and then I have to start Keon as well because I still need a receiver for my team. These dumbasses who want to sell. Anyway, I think my storyline going the rest of the year that I'm excited about personally is that the Return of the Evil Empire might come back, depending on how long this Bucky injury lasts and whatnot. Kenny Gainwell balled out for me. Got Rashad White on the bench. Tajay Spears, the IR stash. So I'm excited about those things. But I think my team, I'm not as worried about. I'm not as worried about it just because Tyreek, obviously, is fantasy.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Before we move on to the second to last game, I do want to say a quick word. If you have made it this far and you would like to be the 4th edition of GigaUP special guest, hop into the group chat and just send 5 whole words. Brees Hall for a third. If you are the first in the group chat after this drops to drop a Brees Hall for a third, you will be next week's GigaUP special guest. Anyways, moving along from that, I can lead us right into probably this is honestly just a joke to look at. We have Bishop versus Liam, the unanimous best team in the league versus the unanimous worst team in the league. I'll let you take it from here because I ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah, I'd like to start off with I'm excited to see my baby girl again. I heard she's going to be in attendance for the game. I'm hoping, realistically, I'm hoping even with some buys going on with Josh Jacobs, I'm hoping I beat Liam by 300 points to kind of count, make do for last year.
Yeah.
And that's about all I have to say.
Bishop, I would like to ask you, just before I give my 2 cents, how do you feel about Christian McCaffrey being on your team this year and his performance?
Man, I was actually thinking about that today. I knew going into the draft, I was like, if I want to walk out of the draft with one guy, it's Christian McCaffrey because I have the capital in the top 15 to do so, and I walked out and it's paying dividends. And yeah, I mean, I got him at 2-3, so that means like 15 other squads passed up on him.
How scared are you every week?
So scared. So scared. And then I see him get 30 plus touches and 180 yards. I go, I'll be all right.
That would make me even more nervous.
Yeah, I'm even more scared for next week, but here we go.
Yeah. Just ride that shit till it runs out, man. If it does, he looks great.
He does.
I think some things to talk about with Liam is I hope that his love affair with the trophy. Well, I honestly think that Liam should post the trophy. Teams, I think it's funnier if your team's bad.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot funnier if your team's just bad and you're like, hey guys, at least I got. I've heard sources from the work camp that the only thing getting him by each week is love for gambling and parlays. Those are some of the things coming out of his this year. There's nothing really to be excited about. Like, I guess you're excited about a Toon potential keeper or someone he picks up later down the line, I guess. I think the only thing that I really have to question, I have a question for Bishop, is just, like, what are your, like, champion, like, what are your plans right now? Like, do you view, like, obviously I know you view a buyer than a seller at the deadline this year, but, like, is this a year where you see a big pick go for, like, a second flex, like a realistically a player that'll end up being your second flex, but he's a wide receiver, a low end wide receiver one on most people's teams?
Yeah, I mean, right now the CeeDee Lamb injury is helping George Pickens out with Vlad and the inconsistency from Marv. I'm hoping that continues, but really it's just waiting until week 7, getting Rashee Rice back. I mean, my team is not at full potential right now because I have a 3rd round pick just sitting in my IR, and he was picked in the 6th. So that's really my goal, is just to see what he can do for the squad, and then kind of evaluate from there.
Gotcha. No, yeah, I think the most interesting thing with you is that you obviously have the extra 6 coming into the year, and I think seeing where injuries end up playing out, like not just with CMC here or anything, just they hit different teams at different times. I think it's like, I think you have the clearest path to the championship, just based on, like, not having to do very much and being able to just make one big trade. Like, I think you have an ability to make one splash done, and, like, your team's just a matter of health, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I'm really banking on, is only having to make 1 or maybe 2 trades.
Yeah, and I think with the spot you're in right now is, I don't even know if you need to make 2, bro.
Yeah.
And like, it's because you have Rice coming back. You know, when he comes back, you'll need to maybe trade for a flex. And that's just if you want to really run that Liam route and just get that crazy-ass team. But you're doing that at a 5th of the price that he had to spend. You can still be very competent next year.
It's so health. It's such a health thing.
Yeah.
And that's for every roster, obviously. The next couple of weeks are going to be, like, debilitating for certain teams.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. All right.
I say we take into our final game of the week, another interdivision matchup in D1 between one of 2 winless teams left in Dan and Rossi. I think, with this one, it's more of just like a clear case of, can Rossi's team build off next week, and can Dan finally get his first win?
Yeah, there's nothing really more to that. I mean, Dan looks bad. Rossi looking like he's going to start projecting upwards. So it's kind of just more, I'm not watching this game to see who wins. I'm just seeing if Rossi can outperform projections, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rossi's teams, if last year was an indication, it's kind of coming into its own, and I think it's still producing big numbers without CeeDee Lamb. One of the things I will say with Rossi's team, though, is that I think it is still going to be heavily dependent on if Genty can get big games going, and obviously we talked about before with the Raiders O-line, that's still a question mark, especially with just how inconsistent the Raiders offense has looked. But he still is getting points by Achan, despite the Dolphins being an absolute shit show. And then also, I mean, this is definitely going to be talked about with one of the best draft day picks is Travis Etienne. I mean, he's been definitely a very pleasant surprise for CJ. I mean, got him with the 7-1, and last week he's been efficient. That's the story of his career. He has been efficient, and this year in this Liam Cohen offense, he's been a rejuvenated player.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think it like everyone said, like this is you should take this type of week. I mean, Chase Brown's gonna put up 8 points. And Dan does not have Derrick Henry already. So I think like inside sources, Dan thinks he can beat Ross. I think that's he doesn't think Genty's gonna repeat a performance like that. Another thing with Rossi's team, I think the biggest question about Rossi's team is Byron Tracy 4 years for being a real championship contender because he didn't draft Scott. I think that's a really funny question. Obviously, the Dolphins are the wheels gonna again like they do every year. And then I don't know. I've heard that Dan's like enticed. I think like I said earlier, starting new divisions with a large amount of cap. I think he's enticed by it, but like, he just seems unwilling to like pull the trigger on some namely players on his team. So I guess that's my input.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think when it comes to Dan, like, it just sucks because the Chase Brown keeper was, in my opinion, probably like my second favorite keeper in the entire league outside of Bucky. I mean, I would have taken him in the second if he fell to me. Like, if we go back, he doesn't keep him and he's there at the 2-6, I would have taken him. I think the Burrow injury sucks, and it's like Burrow's not going to be back before the deadline, so it's not even like he can bank on that and sell him for a higher price once Burrow's back. No one's going to want to stash Chase Brown for anything but like a 10th at that point when the trade deadline rolls around, because Burrow's not going to be back till December. I think it's just a matter of, Dan knows he's not making the playoffs. He's not going to be competitive. I think it's just a matter of when he decides to sell, and just building off pretty much what y'all said with Ross. He's just, can he consistently score what his projection is, or if not more? And it really just comes down to, can his team play well until CeeDee Lamb's out, and can Ashton Zenzi, obviously I don't think anyone here is expecting 35 points a game, but can he be that, safer 16 to 17 point floor, given a couple weeks where he can just, play like a 2-1. And I think watching Genty get his feet wet in Chicago was a great sign, where he could run. He broke off that 63-yard touchdown. Like, I think he needed a game like that, a hat trick if I'm not mistaken. And just really, it shows you what the ceiling is. I don't think anyone doubted Genty's ceiling, but like seeing it after like 3 pretty underwhelming weeks has to feel amazing for Rossi, especially given he is, I would say, pretty unanimously the second best team in D1 as of right now. So I think I think Rossi's sitting in a good spot. He's looking to buy like as early as right now. Like, I think he sees that his window, if he's going to buy, like he needs to do it now, really establish himself as what could be eventually the best team in D1.
Yeah. For sure.
All right, shall we move on to our predictions?
Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll just go, let's go bottom up.
All right.
Gotcha.
So since we're already here, we can list off our Dan versus Rossi predictions.
Rossi by 25.
Yeah, I got Rossi by 20.
Yeah, definitely have Rossi taking this one.
I got Rossi by like 10.
Okay. Cool.
Closer game.
I don't think Genty's putting up 35 again, but I do think.
Yeah, Colin Miller injury. Of course, it happens after I play him.
I think, let me just make one money prediction. I think that McMillan is going to go off this week against a really bad
I like that.
Dolphins defense.
All right.
He hasn't scored yet, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I don't think so.
I think a touchdown is imminent. I think, I
like
think
that.
he definitely
I like that,
is
Josh.
due to get in the end zone. I like
Liam
that.
definitely heard that one. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Rossi clean sweeps predictions. Moving Back upwards, we have Liam versus Bishop.
I got Bishop by 8. Okay, no, like in seriousness, I got Bishop by 6.
Yeah, I got me by at least 50.
I think Bishop by like 70.
I got Liam by 5. I think I'm gonna spill here. I think after, for those unaware, Bishop. Liam pretty much made Bishop his personal bitch last year. And it's not like Bishop's team was at the state of Liam's. Like Bishop had a damn good team last year, a playoff contender. And Liam just put up like, what was it, like 190 and 200 the 2 times y'all played each other?
3 times.
I think
in the playoffs too. Yeah. Lowest he
Yeah.
scored against me was 188. So.
Which I believe is top 10. And I literally all 3 times he played, he placed himself in top 10 highest.
Yeah, exactly. One of them was top 1. Or maybe top 2.
I think it was 1. So going off that, I'll be damned if Coach Bishop doesn't head into that California Crackers locker room this week and tell him what's at stake. I got Bishop by 85 points. I think Bishop is going to put belt to ass.
Oh, I need to.
And I hope you do, because watching you get shit on my
As a
shit,
fellow victim of CJ Ross' dubious D2 spyness of Liam, I love that everyone's on the same page here.
Fuck CJ.
I think the spread is at least 45 right now. It's bad. It's gonna be bad.
This is Bama versus FCSEs.
Actually, no. The spread should be like 60. Liam's averaging like 90 points. Bishop's yet to drop under or what's your average? 154.
Yeah, more than Curry scored last week. I average.
All right. All right. Moving back up, we have John versus Jay. John, would you like to start with your own?
I'm taking care of business. Rochelle White starting. I'm winning by 20.
I want the upset to happen, so I'm calling the upset. I got Jay by like 4.
I love it. I love it.
Quentin Johnson, get out of my nightmares.
I think Jay's team has been it's definitely competed in a lot of games. So I'm gonna say I do think it's gonna be a really close game. I do think though John squeaks it by.
I'm gonna piggyback off Bishop. I'm also feeling the upset, and that's nothing against your team, John. I think you definitely have a better team on paper, but I do think Jay wins. I do think it's more than 4 though. I think it's 10. I think Addison has a good game, and I think Quentin Johnson outperforms Keenan Allen, who has been John's probably second or third most consistent player.
Waiver work award. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, Quentin Johnson's above him on that.
Fuck, I forgot about that. No! Second waiver work for like the 3rd straight year.
Obviously, bearing any injuries, knock on wood, don't want that to happen. But I would say Quentin Johnson's probably the clear favorite for the award. 4 weeks into the season. So great pickup on Jay's part.
Yeah.
Moving up to an absolute steamer of a game, we have Josh versus Ryan.
Just want to say I got myself. I don't need to talk about why. Comp my team. Best of luck to Ryan, Hammy. So yep, just gonna go in there and stay focused.
How much you winning by?
I'm not worried about numbers and anything like that. I know this is just gonna be a tough week, good opponent. So just need this win no matter what the score is.
All right, Uno.
Josh. I got Curry by 15, I think. Wait, no, Curry's got bye weeks. Hold on.
Josh has bye weeks.
Let me look at this. Look at this matchup. Bijan and Odunze are on bye, though. These have been Curry's point getters, man. I got...
Alright.
Bold take.
Yeah, I
Love you, Curry.
I think Josh's team might come out stumbling a little bit after the neighbor's injury. They kind of lose their footing, but I think he comes around and ends up taking it to OT and winning the game.
Josh, you don't have Rico Dowdle?
No, I don't. But
That's not good.
He has like
No.
his running
I
backs
think I'm
are
gonna
fine.
reverse my pick and pick Ryan by 5. Actually, I thought you had doubt.
well, I dropped Daddle, and then next thing you know,
I
it's
guess you have
it's
Walker,
questionable.
but Tampa Bay's been locking.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll take.
Yeah, I think kind of going off what Bishop said is Josh's team looks pretty different. He lost what was the best player on his team. Actually, no, second best player behind Gibbs on his team. Lamar's out for this week. Hubbard questionable to play. Well, I do think Josh's team is still easily one of the better ones in GigaNuts. I think Josh has pretty big bye week problems as well, which I think just hurts even more. So I'm going to pick Curry in this one. I do think it's very close. I think it's within 5, and I won't be surprised in the slightest if Josh does win. I just think given what has happened to Josh in this past week, as good as his team still is, it's just really hard to anticipate, like a big showing out without his second best player and, a all-time fantasy quarterback in Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say too, just
yeah,
defend myself. Sorry, public record.
No, go ahead.
I don't have Rico Daddle because if I did, I would need to drop DJ Moore or Zach Charbonnet. So.
Jack Charbonnet, please.
Do it.
Just wait till I'm waiver 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why did it do it after I'm waiver 1?
Yeah, there you go.
Moving up to the second to last prediction, we have another D1 matchup between me and Luca.
Starts off, Sal. Let
yeah.
us know how you feel. How you feeling?
Y'all know my motto. I'm not voting against myself. I do think this is my second biggest challenge of the year outside of my week 3 matchup versus Josh when he was fully healthy. But and I'm not saying this because like, oh, I would never bet against myself, but like from a serious standpoint, I do think I can win this game. I think obviously, my odds are below 50%. I'd probably give myself a 25-ish. Maybe even higher. I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating myself, but I think if my team clicks, like I just need one, DK on bye sucks, especially after that good week last week, but I just need one week where Nico and JT both spaz. And I think, obviously I hate bringing injuries into it, but with Tyreek Hill down, Waddle, I don't know how much better he gets, but he could, be a wide receiver 2 now. He might not be a mid flex play. He could turn it, as a rookie, he caught 104 passes, the wide receiver 1 for the Dolphins. So I'm not going to sit here and just really boast my team as I'm still 1-3, but I'm going to pick myself, and I do think it's close, but I got myself by like 5.
Looking at the matchups, I might be on Sal's side here. I think that this game is really close. I think what sets it apart is the fact that Wan'Dale Robinson is a really good flex play now, to be honest.
Yeah. Especially against the Saints.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think this game is Dallas. You have RB1. Nico Collins is going to ball against Baltimore. And I also like Waddle this. I just think the Myers versus Wan'Dale might. Same with the McBride versus Kelsey thing. So I think I go Luka by like 5 here, but I think it's closer than a lot of people might think.
Yeah, I also think it's closer than a lot of people think. I think Luka's team is too good to drop another game, especially against a division opponent. I do really like your team, especially this week with Waddle and just everything else. But yeah, I think I gotta go Luka here by a slim margin.
Yeah, I would agree with Bishop. I do really like Sal's team. I think that he's definitely in a different level than other D1ers with Jay and Nate and then Dan. But I do also think that Sal was saying about his team finally clicking. I do think that same case can be made for Luka's team. He's yet to drop over 130. So I think it's going to be a very high scoring game. I think, you could definitely see both teams finally popping off. But I think I'm gonna give the edge to Luka. Just on paper, he does still have, I think, just more star power. So obviously all can change if JT drops another 30+ game like he's been doing. But I do got Luka by like 10 points.
This is getting clipped. Luka Genuise, be prepared to be in the TikTok edit. And you have nothing to do with this. I'm sorry. Anyways, jokes aside, we will move up to the last prediction, our game of the week. Joey and Mark versus Kyle.
Yeah,
I'll start.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
I actually don't think this is a tough one. I think Joey and Mark beat Kyle by 30.
Wow.
I think
Joe's playing Baltimore though.
Yeah, but why would the Texans not go out and give Woody Marks the same role that he just had last week?
That's a good point. I don't think you're wrong. Yeah.
And I mean, like, unless they're going against Bishop or Curry at this point, it's going to be pretty difficult to bet against Joey and Mark.
Yeah.
Like the bye weeks aren't affecting them yet.
Scatterboo makes his team so scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think looking at this, actually, I think it's a joke. 20.
Yeah. And there's nothing against Kyle's team. I just want to put that out. Kyle is a good team. Once he hopefully does figure out that RB2 and second flex position, Kyle's right back in the mix as a strong contender. But until that point, it's hard to put him over those teams that have solidified players at every single position.
I mean, the thing with Kyle is Alvaro can go out to 50.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe it's not Amon-Ra, but I might see Saquon and Hurts. I think the Eagles' offense looks better this week, and I think the run game could look better.
Denver's a tough matchup.
Denver is a tough matchup, and I do recognize that, but I do think the Eagles can go out there and Saquon could have a Saquon game, and it's still
he's so due.
And he's so doing, and you know what? I don't know, man. Joey and Mark's team scares me. So even if Saquon does have a Saquon game, who knows if that is even enough? But I got Kyle by like 3.
I like it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always up for some change. I like that.
I do.
Why do I have to start with guys? Bucky's totally not gonna play.
Anyway,
I obviously just looking at Mark, 'cause I think it's just his running backs. It's Scatterboo has been very very scary. And then Hampton is due for another big game, and also James Cook prime time against a AFC East team. That's literally his bread and butter. So, and then he also gets JD coming back. So I think even though Stafford did drop 29, that's probably going to be another week of your quarterback drop 20 points, and that's literally bread and butter when it comes to
that's
just
all you need.
putting up big numbers. Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's all you need.
I do think that Mark, he's only, especially if Jamar Chase can get going. I think Mark does get the edge here. But I do think that it can be a close game. I do actually like Mikey's point about the Eagles' offense and Saquon and possibly showing out. And I do think Hurts is gonna get some touchdowns. So, but I do think it's gonna be Joey and Mark by. They're weird. I'd say probably 15. They managed to just blow out their opponent when it comes to just those late night games. So I'm gonna say 15, Joey and Mark.
Yeah.
all right.
I'd say that's fair. All right. That just pretty much wraps up the show. Before we do our outro, as for Josh, Bishop, John, any topics we didn't touch or just any talking points that anyone wants to bring up or further analyze? And are we missing anything?
No, I'm just excited for Week 8 power rankings.
Sure
I'd
you
like
are.
to PSA that Dan should sell his and so should Jay.
Also, only 10 people voted, and we have 16 people. So.
Yeah, can y'all vote on the...
Can we name drop who
Hold
didn't
on,
vote?
let me pull it up.
Yeah.
Can we name drop who didn't vote? Because you deserve that shit.
We'll clip this and put on the IG.
Oh, we absolutely will. You're getting tagged.
And we don't even know who's reading the number.
Alright, hold on. Let's figure it out.
And listen to this. So.
Bishop voted, Josh voted, Sal voted, Mark voted, I voted,
Shocker. We got
Ryan
everyone.
voted, Dan voted, Rossi voted, Luca voted, and Kyle voted. So Beam didn't vote.
Jay or Nate?
Joey didn't vote, and Jay and Nate didn't vote. Hammy didn't. And are we missing it? Did Luca? Yeah, I said Luca.
No.
I think all of D1 voted.
They too nonchalant for power rankings or some shit. Like, what are we talking about, bro?
Yeah.
Did
bro,
Liam vote?
Oh, Liam is the other fucking champ. Think he too good for this
I
shit.
didn't think he'd put himself last.
I was about to say, like, I'm not excusing it, but I kind of.
I get it.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah. Yeah. So, vote, pussies.
Please do. At least when it comes to our next power ranking, so that way we have a full sample size.
They will be in week 8. Week 8.
I think too. I'd like to mention, if this is just run it by with y'all, I think maybe too if we're doing power rankings, definitely can put an option of if anyone in the league would like to bring up anything about next week's podcast too.
Oh, absolutely.
Interesting ideas. Just get them more
absolutely.
ideas from around the league.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. Like right after our power rankings, or just at any point. Oh, also for all the nutters that have made it this far,
appreciate
if
y'all.
y'all want, not only that, but if y'all want to see us like talk about something, like literally just text in the group chat. We'll talk about what.
Have an idea for a segment?
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm open to talk about literally anything. Well, I mean anything, but try and keep it to 15 minutes.
Next week, Weekly Nutter will be bringing back Bustleworthy Games of the Week, and GigaUP will be rephrasing Game of the Week to Bustworthy Game of the Week, obviously.
Cool.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
just a little rebrand.
Yeah, it sounds better.
It does.
Yeah,
so much better.
If y'all aren't reading the Weekly Nutter, you're on some great content, as per usual.
You always just gotta at least read your section and like the person you play.
Exactly.
Like, that's all.
Like, read your division. Read D2. Read D.
Yeah.
I read all of them, but at least get yourself. If you're Liam,
see what the narratives are.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Liam. Sorry, there's nothing right to write. You're rebuilding this year. You got extra.
He has a trophy in his room, bro. He'll be okay.
Yeah.
Be happy you sold Bowers early.
Yeah. Oh wait, time out.
Yeah, be happy.
Last talking point. Let's talk on that.
Oh.
How are we feeling about that? Josh?
So obviously he hasn't been doing too well since I traded for him. I think all I can really do is just hope that, it's just lingering knee issues, and just honestly he can just pick up where he left off his rookie year, and honestly week 1 before he left the game early.
Yeah.
So I think obviously looking back, definitely was a very hurtful trade and just kind of making my team flexible in what we want to do here. But made the trade, can't take it back, so I'm going to trust in my guy. I still have faith in him. I am going to start Jake Ferguson this week in tight end. He has definitely earned that starting spot.
He has.
Yeah.
So love to see what Fergie can bring. I know Bishop has had him in the past. So does he have a ring?
He does got a ring. He does have a ring.
Oh, wow.
I got experience.
I got him for Travis Kelce.
If Sleeper HQ ends up watching, if Sleeper HQ is watching, y'all should add rings like championship player thing, like icons to your players.
That would be
totally not
That
watching.
would be so sick.
But I'll clip this and post it on Twitter and spam them.
Yeah.
Everyone DM Sleeper. Everyone DM Sleeper HQ.
All right.
Well, I guess that pretty much wraps up the 3rd edition of GigaUP. This is such a fun thing to do. Thank you so much to our second special guest, Josh, for coming out and giving us your input. Much appreciated. Some great points made. We look forward to having you back on this show soon, as I'm sure you will. And for everyone that made it this far, thank you very much for watching. And tune in next Thursday morning, Nutters.
All right. See ya.
Doodles.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.